What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another town hall, part of our Gaming Grounds Network podcast. And as we continuously go, and as most of you know by now, this is the podcast where all of us here at the network come together and just kind of talk about it on a less structured basis, just what's going on in gaming, what's going on in our gaming world, and just our personal opinions on games and everything else going on in the gaming industry. We do have our other shows, the Hitbox, which is FPS focused with Derp and Guzzy, who are here with us today as always. How you doing, guys?
Saw peoples.
Hi, how are you?
And then we have Industry Update, which is me and Guzzy's show where we talk about the business side of things and what's really going on in the gaming world outside of, playing the game. And coming up is a show that I will be running with Waxy, who is currently playing WoW as we make this on his Warlock and complaining about not having a Void Walker. What's going on, Waxy?
What's going on? Just trying to level up this Warlock, so it's not miserable to play in the beginning. The first levels are so bad.
Yeah,
so
doing the same quests over and over again that you've
it's
already
just all
done.
about just get to Dead Mines. That's it. But so in this week, this podcast, we will be talking about BlizzCon, the games that came out, what we feel about them, what we think about them. And we're also going to talk, because of the new expansion, what we think about the future of World of Warcraft. And I think I'm missing something. Guzzy, is there anything else we wanted to touch on?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, we're going to Call of Duty.
That's right. I knew it was something. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then, since Call of Duty's been out for a few weeks now, and I've had some games in, and I'm level 30, so I haven't played as much as I probably should, but I got a good feel for it. And I know Derp always has choice words, so I can't wait to hear about it. And without further ado, I think we should just jump right into this, and we'll start with BlizzCon. So is there anything in particular that you guys want to start talking about in BlizzCon, or do you want me to just throw out a topic and we'll tell you, and we'll just go from there?
The Murloc March.
Go ahead.
I don't even know what the Murloc March is.
So, for everybody that doesn't know, in BlizzCon or Blizzard store, they sell, I don't know exactly when they sell it, but they sell Murloc onesies, like pajama onesies. And every year at BlizzCon, or whenever they do it, they have what's called a Murloc March. So they'll get everybody that has a pajama and wore it to the BlizzCon. They'll have them do pretty much the what is it when you follow each person, the maraca or whatever, the
Congo line.
Congo line. They'll have a Congo line around the whole BlizzCon, and I think this year's was around 800 people. And
That's
they make
crazy.
the Murloc sound while they
I was going to say, do they make the sound?
Indeed, they do. So,
Waxy, what's that sound?
You got it. That's Kyle's job. He's the best at it.
I try.
Oh God.
oh, Guzzy. Hit him with a Murloc.
Oh!
He does do really good at it.
So that's pretty much when the time that the bar pretty much spikes in sales. Yeah, from all the noises around.
That's so funny. I never heard of that. We had a chance. I had a chance to go to BlizzCon when I was writing for a gaming website years ago. I ended up not being the lucky one to go, but the owner of the company and the editor-in-chief went, and they said it was incredibly fun, and they came back with so much free stuff. I think it was Lynch King year where they did it, and they gave away Lynch King expansion, like the keys, and I was so mad. They gave that away, and like some of like the companion pets, and I was like, damn, they got all this free stuff. I was a freshman in college though back then, so I felt a little cheated, but that's really cool. I hear that, like I said, the atmosphere is pretty interesting. I know that there's, with the whole thing going on with the Hong Kong and Blizzard and all that, I'm sure there's some tense moments there and there, but overall, it seems like people are enjoying themselves. I saw some streamings of what's going on and people that were there, so can't go wrong with that.
Well, actually, I want to just butt in real quick.
Absolutely.
They actually did talk about the Hong Kong issue, or well, I guess not. I don't want to call it an issue, but the Hong Kong ordeal. And
Right.
they did apologize for their actions. The president actually stepped up and apologized for their actions, said they're sorry about what happened, and that they're sorry about how long it took them to kind of make a public display of what was going on and everything. So it kind of eased any tension that was going on in the event, I believe.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. The thing I saw was that they like apologized for how they addressed the situation, but they didn't change their stance. Like their stance was still the same, which I guess you stick to your guns and you stick to your guns, and it is what it is. But we're not a political podcast, so we don't have to worry about all that. But it's definitely something that needed to be at least, I guess, addressed. We can't pretend like it's not happening. But I do like that we covered that, and thanks for talking about that, Derp. Really appreciate that. All right, so let's go. We'll get into BlizzCon. I know there was 4 like major announcements when it came to their games. Overwatch 2, which is just a big update to Overwatch. We'll talk about that. Diablo 4. We already touched on this a little bit, but World of Warcraft's new expansion, and then I think we'll just go right into Hearthstone right now. I'm a big card game guy, and I could never get into Hearthstone, so
Same.
This means like very little to me. I played more of that like Witcher game, and I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but. What
Magic the Gathering?
No, I would never do that. But yeah, so
fun.
I played more of the game, like the mini game inside The Witcher, than I did with Hearthstone, and I just couldn't get into Hearthstone as much as I tried, and it sucks. But they do it for those of you who do like it, because we are a podcast, the network that talks about all games, not just the games that we like. They have a new expansion called the Descent of Dragons, and there's a new mode, and it's the Battlegrounds. And it's you and I think it was 7 other players fight against an artificial intelligence. So and then with anything like that, you're gonna get a bunch of new cards in the expansion pack, or stones. I don't know what to really call them. I guess they are cards. What's your view on Hearthstone, guys?
I have never played it, so I really don't even know like what it's about or anything. So I couldn't tell you.
Another student when I was going in college, or when I was in college, another student, one of my classmates, kind of showed me the game. Like he was like a hardcore Hearthstone player. He showed me the game. I kind of got into it. It was kind of like if the class was kind of dead and we were waiting for a teacher, or like something like that. I'd hop on there for a little bit and he'd like show me the ropes. It was kind of fun for the beginning, but it just wasn't my kind of style of game. But I do respect it as a game. It was fun while I did enjoy it. But again, it just wasn't my kind of style. I guess
it wasn't
with Diablo 4, which got
I mean, it wasn't my kind of style either. I don't know. There's certain games that will keep my attention, and that's not one of them. I do like the strategy-based games like that, but I think there was too much for me to learn to actually get involved in that game. And I just didn't have the desire to do that while other games were out.
Yeah, and that's a really good point too. Like that's definitely a game you have to be. Why is this doing this? I hate this thing.
Mark isn't paying attention. He's watching videos during a podcast.
I have all my notes set. I have like 7 different websites up, so I don't miss out on any information, because there's always somebody, like when we do these podcasts, that like sends a message in, be like, you forgot to talk about this. So I have like 8 different BlizzCon related episodes up here, and some of them have videos, and they're randomly unpausing, like all of a sudden, and I don't even care about the videos. Like I just literally have all the information stowed up. All right, rant over. Yes, Hearthstone, got to be involved, got to keep involved, and if you fall behind, you get left behind, and that's no bueno. All right, so we can move on past Hearthstone. So what do we want to talk about now? Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, or Shadowlands?
I guess we can go into Diablo, which had the craziest trailer I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you guys watched it, but I've never played Diablo, and I'm gonna play this just because that trailer was so sick.
I didn't see the trailer, but my friend was actually at BlizzCon, and he said playing because at BlizzCon you can kind of test the games out and whatnot. And he said he pretty much, as soon as he picked up the controller and looked at the screen, he was immersed into it, and how good of a game it was, even though he wasn't that biggest Diablo fan. As soon as he started playing, he was just right in there. He felt like he was in there. He felt like everything around him was pretty much in the game. He said it was an amazing, amazing experience.
I like to hear that. I liked Diablo. Diablo 3, that was always fun. Diablo 2 is a lot of people say it's the holy grail of Diablos, but the way I see it, if you like the game, you like the game. I did enjoy Diablo 3. I thought it was fun. I bought the expansions and Reaper of Souls, and it was good. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was fun. It was a good dungeon explorer, and I liked what they did. And they took a leap of faith. They changed some things up, and some of the things they hit, and some of the things they missed. And I think they took all these years of just information from their fan base and players as they played in Diablo to really understand what kind of game they wanted to make, and they took their time to make this game. And from what, like you said, I know a couple of people that are at BlizzCon that said, when they got their hands on, they were fully immersed. And I'm glad to know that Derp, somebody too that's there, and they said the same exact thing. So it's not just my friends are fanboys and they kind of liked it, but it's it's a continuous thing, which is good. And Waxy, you were absolutely right. The trailer was phenomenal, the reveal trailer, and they did a really good job. You should really go and check it out there. You'd be pleasantly surprised. One of the things I did like also is they're adding more of an open world to the game. So it's open world and dungeon crawler. So you'll kind of not feel as alone as sometimes you can feel in the game. And another thing that's really cool is they're bringing back Lilith, which is from Diablo 2, is one of the main enemies. And so it's Diablo and Lilith as the main antagonists in the new Diablo game. So you get both the really big enemies from the series. And they announced that there's going to be 5 playable characters, but
I think they announced the first couple characters, right?
Yeah,
I think one was Druid. I know that. I'm pretty sure.
So there was Druid, Barbarian, and Sorceress. So there will be 2 more announced, and then of course they're going to add more in the expansion. It's just they added Necromancer. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. And another cool thing is they're adding mounts, apparently, because the world's going to be so much larger. They said it's going to be, I forget what they said. It's going to be 5 realms, or I forget what word they used, but it's going to be 5 distinct areas, but they're continuously together. So you're going to have a huge map to explore. So adding a mount was pretty much necessary for them. What do you Kyle, or what do you think about Diablo? Is that a game that you would play, or?
I played Diablo 3 when it came out on PS4, and I blazed through it within 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I never really cared about the story. I don't know. It's me in all games. I don't care super much about the story.
You were a multiplayer kind of guy, right?
Right. And so I didn't necessarily go for the best gear. I didn't necessarily grind things out. I literally was just trying to play the game to beat it.
Right.
It did get addicting. It was actually very fun. But then once I beat it, I was like, all right, I'm over it. There's nothing else for me to do. Because I don't care about the lore. I don't care about getting the best equipment. And none of my friends at the time had the game. So it wasn't even I could talk to a friend about doing certain things in the game. Right. So really I was just all right, well, what do I do? And I beat it right away, and I was like, all right, I'm done. So I do think I'll play Diablo 4 just because it's going to be one of those hot commodity games, and the idea behind Diablo actually is a fun game. It's a fun style of playing something. But again, I'm not going to care too much about the lore or the best equipment.
Respect it. Respect the honesty. Waxy, what do you feel on Diablo 4? Is it a yes or a no for you so far?
I will definitely be getting it just because that trailer got me so excited for a game I never played. But I also heard that it's going to be I forget which Diablo they said it was. Like you said, 2 was like the best one or something.
Yeah. So a lot of people say that's
like,
the Holy Grail.
Everyone's saying is like a lot like it's gonna be a lot like one of the better Diablos. So I think I'm definitely going to give it a try. It looked really exciting and like I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game coming from someone who's never played Diablo ever. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I like it. Derp.
So Diablo has been one of those things that have been on, I guess to say like my bucket list of games to play. I've never really like jumped in and just grabbed it and played it because I mean, I don't know why, but if I see when I see the trailer, I'm gonna watch it after this. I might have to grab it once it comes out. Honestly, depending on how good the trailer is. I mean, you guys were raging over it, so hey, it has to be good.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, once you see that trailer, you're going to be like mind blown. It was
Take
so
my
good.
Money.
Yeah, if there's one thing that BlizzCon did really well was the trailers for everything that came out just hyped up everything like times 100, and it just made everything like so appealing to play.
Absolutely, they are amazing with trailers.
Yeah, it was insane. They were like mini movies. They were so good.
Yeah, they were. They were really good. All the trailers, and then for me, I'm definitely going to get it. I want to see the improvements they've made from Diablo 3 to Diablo 4. I love the story. I love the fact, like, I just love the atmosphere of the game fits my style. But Derp, I understand completely what you mean. I think everybody has those like movies or video games or like music that they know that they would love, but they just never got around to like watching it. And you're like, dude, I know this is going to be good. I just never made time to like watch this movie or play this game.
Exactly.
So,
you just didn't make that like initial leap that you have to make that you know you'll like it, but you just didn't jump off the edge yet. So
yep. Yeah, I know exactly how that is. All right, Kyle, your turn to pick. Overwatch 2 or Shadowlands?
Overwatch 2.
Alrighty. So, Overwatch 2. Who's played it? Who hasn't? Go.
I mean, no one's played Overwatch 2, so
I'm an Overwatch. There you go. Thanks for correcting me, guys.
I have played very, very minimal Overwatch, but I do like the game, and I wish I got into it more. I guess I don't know. When it came out, I had like no friends playing it, so I just like never got into it. But I do like the game, and I thought it was a nice change of pace. The way it was, like I thought it was fun. I would definitely play it like now if I had people to play it with.
Yeah, I'll play it with you.
We might have to take you up on that.
There we go.
There you go.
I guess I'll jump in next then. Yeah. So I coming out while I was in college, again, college story. I guess like my best friend from college, so to say, he was huge in Overwatch, and he kind of like invited me into the group that he played with. So I kind of like hopped in with them, and if I was if they had a squad of 4 and I was on, I'd be the 5th, pretty much, because I had no idea what I was doing. But that game is so much fun, honestly, especially if you have like a group that knows what they're doing and everything. It's so much fun. But I do want to say it does, for me at least, it gets overwhelming the more you play. Like if you just grind game after game after game after game, it kind of gets like a little bit too much. But if you're just kind of playing out to have fun and just enjoying yourself while playing, then it's a really, really fun game to play.
All right. Kai Guy?
I never played it, but I did watch it be played. I'm like Waxy. Like it was one of those games when it came out, it was actually a good spin on a new type of game. I don't think I liked it in the sense that it's not my type of game. The shooter aspect of it is, but the unrealistic aspect of it, I prefer those more real feeling games.
Okay.
Call of Duty shooters like Battlefield, like those are my go-to games that I know I'll have a good time on, even though I might rage a lot. It's more or less like it's a realistic game. I'm not for like all those fantasy type of games. They're just not my thing.
Unless it's WoW.
Right, essentially. But WoW's even a different feel because it's a whole MMO RPG.
Right. Yeah.
But as I say that it wasn't really my type of game, it's kind of funny because then I think of Paladins that Naylor and I were grinding out for days and really enjoyed that game.
That was such a
Um,
fun time for grinding.
and it was the spin-off of Overwatch, but I think it had
The other way
other aspects
around.
of it that were a little bit better. But to me, I just never really got into Overwatch. I won't play Overwatch 2. But I mean, the aspect of kind of like the battle royales taking the gaming world by surprise a little bit. That's what kind of happened, in my opinion, with Overwatch for the slight moment that it did. But it's only made the gaming industry a little bit better.
All right. Now I may be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure Paladins came out first, and Overwatch joined it after. Don't quote
Yeah, I don't
me
know. I
on
just know
that,
Paladins is
but
free.
yeah.
I
But
think
that was
Paladins
super
did
fun.
come out first.
And I was a big Paladins guy.
I
and
played a lot of
then-
Paladins too.
Yeah, I was huge in Paladins. I loved Paladins. And then they added the card system, the original card system, and it absolutely was horrid. So bad that I was like, I will never play this game ever again.
All right,
It's
so no, Paladins came out first. Or I mean, Overwatch came out first, May 24th, 2016. Paladins came out September 16th, 2016.
all right.
Oh, okay.
So there's our answer. We have the internet, and I'm glad you used it.
Yay, Google!
But regardless of, you know what, the fact is I'm afraid to touch my computer now because a video might start playing. But yeah, so I was a huge Paladins guy, and not even because it was free, because I paid for the Founders Pack, and I loved all the heroes, and it was just really fun for me. And then the card system, that original card system came out. It was absolutely horrible. And then I saw Overwatch after that, and I was like, this looks just like Paladins, and fuck Paladins. Like, I'm so mad at them that I'm going to hate Overwatch. But then I got a free trial to play it. I guess it was through EA Access or something. And I did play it, and I had a lot of fun. It's definitely a fun game. But you got to remember, too, that this game was designed and built to be a competitive game. Like, they literally made it top to bottom, not to be a game just to play with like friends and stuff. It was made to be on a TV screen, on a Twitch stream. Like, it was made to be that competitive like tournament. And they made this game because they already had the Overwatch League in mind. So some of the parts and aspects that people don't enjoy, maybe because of that. Like, it wasn't made for people to enjoy and play. It was made to be competitive. And I think that's where Overwatch 2 is making that flip, because they're adding PvE along with, of course, the 6-on-6 competitive PvP. And I think that's where they're going to make the change, the biggest change in this. But the other thing that's important about this too is that Overwatch 2 is coming with all the original characters, but the characters are getting redesigned. And Waxy, you saw the redesigns. Like, what did you think of them?
Oh, I thought they did a great job. Everything just looked like updated, like, it just looked crisp. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like smoother. Like, everything looked the way
like,
you
I don't
think
know,
it
like
should.
it looked sharp to me, like everything just looked like really HD, and the characters looked amazing. I don't know if it was because of the trailer. Like, I don't know how they're going to actually look in game, but from what I saw in the trailer, from what I've played, the little bit of Overwatch that I've played, they did a really good job at updating how all the characters look.
Yeah, I saw they have one where it's like it was a video, no surprise, where they were doing the side by sides of them, and they showed you like before and after models of them, and it does look really good. It wasn't as drastic as like when WoW updated all their original characters, but I mean, it was a fantastic improvement. And they also confirmed that there's going to be a new playable hero in it. Souljourn, I think his name was. I don't know anything about him, but he's new, and people were excited about him and confused. So that's got to be a good thing. And one of the other things I heard, which I know people really liked, was that the skins that you have in Overwatch 1 are going to transfer over to Overwatch 2. So if you have like a super cool skin that you like in Overwatch 1, you can have, so say, like there's a Mercy skin that you like, you can have it in Overwatch 1 and have it in Overwatch 2 because it'll transfer over. So
Ooh, that's big moves on their part. That's
Yeah.
really, really good.
So that's really good. And then the character model updates are coming to Overwatch 1 as well. So you're not going to miss out on like the update. They're still going to give you your character updates into Overwatch 1, and which I think is a power move and a very good move along with the skin transfer. Because if you're able to transfer the skins, you need to have the same models, and that's going to work out perfectly for them. Any topics that we missed when we were talking about Overwatch 2? I know we're not big Overwatch guys.
Yeah,
So.
from what it seems, it seems to me like Overwatch 2 is just like a big update on Overwatch, essentially.
Well, I heard my friend, again, my friend that went to BlizzCon, he said that, I don't know if the dev said it or if it was just kind of like a hint or a rumor or whatever, but everything is going to be kind of upgraded on Overwatch, the original, and then pretty much any PvE aspect is going to be Overwatch 2. So you're going to have to pay for Overwatch 2 if you want the PvE aspect. But like, if you're going to want to play matchmaking on Overwatch 2 and matchmaking on Overwatch, you guys can get paired together. There's no disconnect between those two games, which is a really amazing thing by the devs, again, which they're not making you go out and buy Overwatch 2 if you're just going solely for like matchmaking, online matchmaking.
All right. That's really interesting. Well, I hope that pans out the way that they're hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. All right, and the last topic of the day, Derp, you can pick it.
Oh, second to last.
Spoiler alert! It's World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
We got COD 2, don't forget.
Yeah,
we
no.
got COD as well.
This is just talking about BlizzCon.
Oh, BlizzCon, yeah.
The end of BlizzCon. So Derp wants to talk about World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Thanks for bringing that out there. Waxy, you're our trailer guy. I know you watched the trailer. You sent me a text message immediately after you saw it. So what did you think of the trailer?
Again, it just made me want to hop on WoW. Like, I think as soon as I saw the trailer, I went and played WoW like right after, because it was just so good. Like, it was, I told you, it was literally a mini movie of like just World of Warcraft, and it was just, I don't know. I was just like amazed of what they did with it. This is the first BlizzCon I've ever watched because I just got into WoW and like all these Blizzard games. So like this is all new to me. So I thought that it was amazing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in Shadowlands. Derp, did you watch the trailer?
Oh my god, I was at work while I watched it. I was itching for like 3 hours. I'm like, I want WoW now. I'm like, oh. As soon as I got home, I hopped on. But it's like, I also talked with my friend again, bringing him back. Because we have a lot of conversations at work about WoW, and how the upcoming level crunch and all the updates are going to happen. I don't know if you want to talk about that now, or if we should wait off and get like everybody's thoughts about this first.
We'll give it a second, and then we'll talk about that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we'll get right into that. Waxy,
that trailer was fire, man.
Yeah, we talked to Waxy. So, Guzzy's the last one. Did you see the trailer?
I did.
Did you watch it when you were in Jamaica?
To be honest, I think I did.
Nerd. I love it.
So, it looks exciting. But to be honest, I don't know if WoW's going to have my interest by then. I mean, I'm sure just for that expansion, I'll do it. But honestly, right now, I'm not really like on that much of a WoW grind because it's kind of burning out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, WoW's definitely a game where you go through like the phases of like once you get a little burnt out, you got to take a deep breath, step away from it, and then that itch comes back. I mean, that's why it still has players 15 plus years later. But no, makes a lot of sense. For me, Sylvanas is a badass. So they've really, like, you can tell, like, the WoW story has been focusing heavily on her because I think the last 3 expansion packs, like, she was the main driving force in them. Might have been 2, but it was really cool to watch that. But being a guy that played it since, vanilla, and knowing that, like, the Lynch King was a badass, and it's just a complete like force of nature that you should have been like fearful of, and everybody was. to watch the new Lynch King, Bolvar, who was a paladin. For those who that don't know the whole backstory of it, he was a paladin that almost died, and on his deathbed, they made him the new Lynch King, so he could control the gap between the Shadowlands and the real world, which is the Shadowlands is the place you go when you die. And he got absolutely just destroyed, so that was a little devastating. I thought he was going to put up more of a fight because the original Lynch King, Ars, was a total badass, but the concept looks really interesting. I like that you can form packs with the different people in each zone, and that each zone's different, and the armor that you can get from them is different, and just the feel that you get. It feels like when I first stepped into the Outlands in Burning Crusades again, where it was oh my god, look at all this new stuff. That's so crazy. And that's kind of what I wanted to feel, and it's cool that they're bringing Northrend back into somewhere to visit when you're playing WoW retail, because a lot of these places you kind of just stop playing them because there's no point to be there anymore. So being able to go back to somewhere to start this journey will be very interesting. That's my take on it. Derp, I remember you sniffing around about something called a level smash or whatever you called it. So let's hear about this.
The word on the street is they are going to have a level crunch, level smash, level squish, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much no one knows exactly how it's going to be yet, but the devs say they have some sort of algorithm that will kind of bring everybody's stats. Well, my one friend said the stats aren't going to change. My one friend said the stats are going to change. So it's very early announcement. No one really knows exactly how it's going to go yet, like I just said. But it's pretty much bringing down all your stats and all enemy stats down. So it's not going to be you're level 120 critting for 3 million. You're going to be level 60 critting for 3,000 or whatever. That's just an example. That's not going to be exact.
Yeah, but but what you're saying is the bosses will have their health brought down to kind of match the new level cap.
Exactly. So it's not going to be so much of a I guess a grind. It's still going to be grind, but leveling is also supposed to be a lot easier. My friend was estimating around a week or a little bit over a week gameplay to get 1 to 60, which is ridiculous. That's kind of the world's first. I think it was a week or so. I could be wrong. But yeah, they're gonna make it a lot easier to level, because they want you to play more characters and make more characters and play more alts and et cetera,
and play the end game, right?
And play end game, exactly, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know how much I'm gonna like that much of an easier 1 to 60.
Right.
I feel like that's a little bit too much for my personal taste, but I could be wrong. He could be wrong. It could be even farther along. It could be even shorter along. No one really knows. Like I said again, competitive, but it's. I'm so hyped for it. So hyped for it.
Well, Waxy, would you play retail if the level cap was 60? Because you know the grind now.
I'm definitely interested in playing this new expansion, and I will play it for sure. Being that you only have to get to 60 instead of what is it now? 120?
120.
Yeah, I would definitely be more interested in that. It just seems more obtainable to do, even though regardless of if 60 is it's short to get to or it's long to get to, however they do it, it would get more of I guess a classic feel almost in a way, only having to get to 60. And plus the new expansion just looks so good. I saw that you could be you could be good or evil pretty much. I got from the trailer. I'm definitely gonna play retail just to check that out. And since I've never played retail, I've only got into classic, which I've probably said on a previous podcast, but I'll definitely try out retail just for this expansion, just because it looks that good.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely looks interesting. Guzzy, what are we feeling? Shadowlands. Wow, I know you don't have the itch right now to play, but you got to have some kind of opinion on it.
I'll get it. We'll see. I mean, was it 2020? That's the rumored
Yeah,
potential date. So
Mhm.
we'll see. Who knows where we are by then?
I like it. I'll consider it. I haven't even got Battle for Azeroth yet, so I've been too busy playing Classic. I
Grind's
don't know.
real, man.
It seems like it'll be fun. Like I said, all the points that I hit, like the zones look really cool. The fact that you can team up and make packs with certain parts of those people, you can kind of you really see it. And plus seeing like the Shadowverse, which I know everybody's like talked about, that's where eventually they're gonna have to head because you get a glimpse of it every time you die. But for to actually be able to be there, see it and play it, that'd be really fun. And I really love the move changing, like pushing from 120 back down to 60 because I have a lot of fun playing the end game content, but a lot of the times, like by the time you get to level 60, you're like spent. You're like, holy God, like I played all this and now I can just start playing the game. Especially if you play as an alliance character. Like, I don't think it's a hidden fact that the horde characters have so much of not like a leveling advantage per se, but leveling there's so many more quests and more like well designed and thought out quests on the horde side to kind of keep your interest, whereas on the alliance side you're literally just like, God, I just need the ding to get out of this place.
Not
So
only that, I know in Classic there's such an overwhelming player base of Horde compared to Alliance, where some servers will actually give you more XP for being Alliance, and in PvP enabled. So
right, to keep
in
it, try to keep it even.
yeah, so in PvP or in retail, I mean, you pretty much enable your PvP on or off depending on where you want or what you want. You just have to be in main city for people who don't know. And so yeah, Horde will get I think like whatever percentage, but then Alliance will I think it is like 30%, like something ridiculous just for going
Alliance.
onto that side because it's so overwhelmingly different.
Yeah,
and,
lopsided.
It lopsided, yes, perfect.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. So I'm really excited to see where it goes and how it goes. And then of course they always add new allied races and all that, which will be very fun. I really wish they just got rid of some of these not races but classes, like got rid of like two or three, maybe two of the classes and um made a new class. That would be really fun.
Well,
I
that
feel
actually reminds me that I believe they're going to make the allied races be able to come Death Knights.
that'd be
So
crazy because I mean I guess that makes sense because they're part of the Forsaken.
yeah, so in right now retail only certain certain races are allowed to be
Death Knights.
Death Knights. Yeah, sorry.
I
But
got you.
yeah, so now in this new expansion, apparently, quote unquote, you can be like a panda Death Knight, which is kind of funny to me, and I'm going to make one absolutely, which will be amazing to see, but hopefully at least.
Yeah. But so everybody be on the lookout for Shadowlands. We will be on the lookout for Shadowlands, and we will keep you updated on how we think the game is, as well as on our other specialized podcast, talk about how Shadowlands is doing. So we will keep you updated with that. I think that covers all that we wanted to talk about BlizzCon. Did we miss anything, or do you guys want to add anything before we do our final quick little talk about Call of Duty?
BlizzCon's awesome. I want to go.
There you go. Well, hopefully we have all these keep listening and telling their friends, and we can get a press pass there and give them all this information from our podcast and maybe our future website to directly to them from BlizzCon. So fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Waxy, I'm still mad at you. And as we talk about that, we will move on to Call of Duty. Waxy, send us into Call of Duty. What do you think? How are you feeling? How's the world?
Okay, so this Call of Duty, in my opinion, is one of the better Call of Duties, and I'd say like probably since Ghost. I did enjoy Black Ops 3 a lot, but it was like a different kind of feel with the jetpacks and stuff. The one thing I will say about this new Call of Duty, it needs some major balancing changes because that 725 shotgun is a sniper pretty much. It's like a one-shot kill from that's the one that Guzzy was talking about, that he saw the video that he saw someone like across the map kill him with a shotgun. Yes. This thing is ridiculous and it's so good, but at the same time, it's like so much fun to use. Like I use that. I've been using Overkill with that and the M4, which are like the two best guns in the game right now. So, and I've been playing a lot of headquarters. So I've been just like pretty much staying in the headquarters and just lighting people up with the shotgun. And I've been having fun with it, but a lot of people are complaining about it, obviously. So I don't know what they're going to end up doing with like the balancing of the guns, but people are going to want them to do something.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like the guns and stuff, it takes a lot of like player data. Like you can beta test it all you want, but until you send that out into the masses and have people who have no understanding of like the basic concept of the game because it's brand new and they start plugging in all these different perks and like messing with the guns, you don't know how it's going to turn out until all these people, like until you have that data. And I think they're going to see this data a lot. I don't use the M1A4. I use the 3 burst one, the like 545F something. And I love
it's like the FAMAS pretty much, right?
But yeah, pretty much. But I don't know what perk comes with the assault pack because it doesn't tell you the attachments that are on the gun. It just tells you it has 3 attachments. But
you're using one of the like the pre-order.
No. So like, once I just bought the, when it like it says like assault, sniper, shotgun.
Oh, like the base classes.
Yeah, the base classes. So I was using the assault one, and I was tearing people up. I went like plus 18, and I was in heaven. So I've used that gun continuously since then, and still done pretty well. But when I got to custom classes, I tried to make pretty much that exact same one, but have my own like perks and not have to use that shitty like auto one. And I can't figure out what the 3 attachments are on this gun, and it's so annoying. So I have to keep using like the default pack of assault to keep playing. So that part annoys me a little bit, but I do enjoy the game. I played 2v2 with my brother the other day, and that was awesome. The competitive juices really get flowing in that game mode. And you really have to be like team oriented to get through it, and that's what I like about it. I still didn't pay the campaign, which is like the first time in a Call of Duty game that I didn't play the campaign first. I usually beat the campaign before I play in multiplayer, so I really should probably fix that. But I also have to agree with you, Waxy, when it comes to it being one of the better Call of Duties. It reminded me a lot of Modern Warfare 2, and I loved Modern Warfare 2. I love the fact that you can't bounce off walls, you can't use a jetpack, like running 90 miles an hour sliding shooting it's not the same. Like it feels like I'm playing like a Call of Duty back when I enjoyed playing Call of Duty, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, it definitely has that like I guess like old school feel of how Call of Duty used to be, which is really nice. Like I said, like once the balancing comes out and they kind of like figure out the game a little more, I think it's gonna be really good. The other thing that they added that I really like is cyber attack. I don't know if you've played that yet.
Oh yeah, where it's like you get the bomb and you have to place it.
Yeah,
it's like an EMP.
It's essentially search with one bomb, but you can revive your teammates.
Yeah.
So I don't like. I do really enjoy search, but the fact that like sometimes you die right away and you gotta like wait a whole round to come back in. I know it's not like crazy long, but the fact that your teammates can revive you and you could go from like a 2v2 to then like you get 2 guys back on your team and it's a 4v2 and then you got the advantage. There's a lot of strategy to it, which I really liked. But then you just get a lot of campers too, which I noticed this game is more camp heavy than any Call of Duty I've ever played. I think it's because the time to kill is a lot lower and a lot of people are worried about their KD for some reason. Like it matters.
Like they're gonna go pro.
Yeah, like no one cares about your KD. I promise you that. I wish people would like objective modes. Like not like headquarters is good because the headquarters is always moving around. So you have people
Right.
constantly moving around, which is why I like that objective. Same with search. You have to plant the bomb. You have to defuse the bomb. You have to move certain places. But if you're playing like domination, I've seen people like one team will capture B and then the other team will never try to capture B, and it'll just be a camp fest, and whoever captured B first is just gonna win.
Is gonna win.
Yeah, and it's just not like it's not fun. That part is not fun, and I think that's partly due to the time to kill. It's very quick. You die quick. A couple bullets, you're dead. The shotgun kills you one shot. The snipers are all like one shot. I think that has a big part in why you got a lot of camping in this one.
Makes sense to me. Didn't think of it that way, but that's a really good point that the time to kill is a lot quicker than it's been. Yeah, I like that. You made a good point.
So Marks, I want to piggyback off of what you said a little bit.
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
I'm convinced that whenever you play Call of Duty and you're just starting out, and it's like your first, until you literally hit that creative class level,
Mhm.
and you use these stock classes that they created for you, no matter what Call of Duty it is, no matter when you're just starting for the first time on that new Call of Duty or you're prestiging, I am convinced that when you use their stock creative classes, you're like significantly buffed compared to everybody else. And then once you create your own class, that buff just completely goes away and your game just starts to go downhill.
Right? That's what it feels like.
I was thinking that. I was literally thinking that when Morgs was saying that before. Another thing, I know this is completely out of order, but another thing that they did add to this game that people are speculating about is skill-based matchmaking. Which I think they introduced. I kind of seen it myself a little bit. So pretty much in this Call of Duty, the lobbies, they're disbanded every time the game's over.
Yeah.
So every game you have a new lobby. So if you do bad, like 3 lobbies in a row, you're gonna get in a lobby with like worse players. And if you the opposite, if you do good, you're gonna get in a lobby with better players. Which is why no one has like these insane kill death ratios like they used to have. Like everyone is like around 1.
Right.
So
that's a really good point, because when I went 18 plus 18 and I got put in the next match that I played, I got fucking smoked.
Yeah,
because absolutely obliterated. And I think you bring up a very good point. Both you and Kyle brought up a very good point. I think that the packs that they bring as a default, they use the data that they had when they played it in the beta and all that stuff, and they make those classes specifically for that. So when you make your own class, that buff's gone. Perfectly agree with that. And just like you said, Waxy, with them disbanding, like one of the main reasons that you would disband a group every time would be just for that reason, to be sure that you're staying with the same quote unquote level people, like skill level base. Damn, I didn't even think about that. You guys are killing it right here on the Call of Duty topic, and we haven't even heard from Derp yet. And I know Derp's got something to say about Call of Duty.
Oh boy,
yeah, he needs to play the game first.
I did. I did.
Oh, you did play?
I did play.
I haven't.
And boy, do I have some things to say about that.
I'm guessing this isn't going to be good.
Is it my time to unleash? All right, so Devil's Advocate right here. Number 1, copying loadouts that kill you. I hate this with a burning passion. It's idiotic in every way. It seems like it's made for salty kids who got killed by some random loadouts that someone took time to make and think about, just for some salty kid that got killed by it to click one button, copy it completely. I hate it with all of it, everything. I don't see a reason for it. I don't see any need for it, really. Anyone?
I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that, because there's a lot of attachments in this Call of Duty. So people can take a lot of time and thought into their classes, and for you to just be able to copy it like in game and then use it that game against and kill that guy with his own class could be very annoying.
Exactly.
Especially since
I don't
you can
like
edit
that.
classes in game.
Yeah.
There's my number 2. Editing classes in game. That is not Call of Duty at all. Period. Exclamation point. That is Battlefield. If you want to do that, go to Battlefield. Please, COD, take it out. Oh man, salty boy right here. I mean, like, I don't know why they did that. I can't think of any logical reason for COD as COD to put that in their game. Like, it could just be me. People might like it, but to me, it's not COD. It's just not COD. Number 3. I know everyone likes this one. In-game audio, like the voice chat. Oh, that is terrible.
It's awful. It sounds like you're talking on a walkie-talkie. Yep.
They need to take that out right now. Like,
what is that? Like, why is it like that? I don't understand. Are they doing it on
It's
purpose?
definitely on purpose to give
You
it
think
that war
so?
feel of like actually talking on a radio when
It's
you're with the
terrible.
squad.
It's so bad.
I can see them putting it in an in-game lobby just for like, all right, like a little like kind of Easter egg, kind of whatever. But in-game, it is the worst thing in the world. I played and I had to ask someone 3 times what they said just for them to say there's a sniper right here or like at this location. I had no idea what they were saying. It's so muffled. It's so grainy. It's not clear. It's irritating. All the bad words you can think about it, throw it at that one. All right, there we go. Shall I go on, or is there enough time? I don't know.
I mean, if you have more to talk about, I mean, you can.
Alrighty.
Here
we
go, number 4. I mean, this is a safe space.
Yeah. Oh God. Number 4, deagles. When you use a deagle, when you shoot, there's almost like a motion blur effect. It's not like the biggest of deals. It's not like game breaking, but I love deagles in any game. If there's a deagle, I will put it on my class or I'll buy it or whatever. CSGO, I love using deagles all the time. But in this game, if you shoot a deagle, it almost has like a motion blur effect around you and down the sight and everything, which I'm guessing they're trying to make it like a realistic like gunshot. Oh my God, it's a 50 cal deagle, whatever gunshot. It has to be like you're taking an impact. But there's like the LMGs that people are shooting, and they can just easily drag down their mouse and have a steady stream. Meanwhile, the deagle, you have to have motion blur. Question marks around that one. Not the biggest fan of that. What else? Spawns. I mean, this is early COD, so spawns are going to be spawns early COD.
That's
Whatever.
any Call of Duty. They
Exactly.
just don't know how to make spawns. They
Yeah.
They
That
just
one
don't.
I'm just throwing that one in there because that's everybody. Whatever. Next one, Claymores. Please.
Oh God, they're so
just a little bit. Like I didn't.
They're
have
so
too
strong.
much-
You can't even shoot it. You can't even like if you're far away from a claymore, you could like shoot at it from an
Wait,
angle.
you
You
can't shoot
do
it
it in this game. You can
Oh,
shoot it. It's gonna
God.
kill you.
But yeah, if you're
it's
close,
gonna kill you.
if you're close to it, it's gonna blow up, and not only if you're close, it'll kill you. If you're like a little bit out of like in more of a mid range, it gives you like the stun effect, and then if you're far away, you can shoot it. But like the guns,
I would like to see them. If you shoot it, it would disable it. That's how it should be, because if you're good with your claymores, you'll put it in a location that you can't see it, and you can't
Right.
get to it unless you have to turn a quarter and shoot really quick, like really good
open the door.
reactions, etc. But like if you can shoot it, that a claymore in a good location, you should be able to destroy it. Like, another one, just kind of a quality of life. To get to team deathmatch, you have to go through what was it, the quick match filter. You have to unfilter everything else except for team deathmatch and throw it in there and then go. Team deathmatch to me is kind of like the number one, kind of like get in there, go, kind of warm up for any kind of more competitive or more game related, I guess to say, game. But team deathmatch should be number one on the top, like ready to go. Maybe even under quick match if you want to do that. But team deathmatch should have its own
category.
Yeah, its own category that you can just click it and go in right, real quick, real easy peasy.
All right, I can see that.
Yeah. Now, what I did like, which I said before that I wanted to know how they were going to do, was the skins or the camo in this game is what it's called. I didn't know how they were going to do it because before they had achievement-based camo or skins, where like to get the blood tiger, I think it was, or whatever it was, whatever skin you wanted to get, there was achievement. So X amount of headshots, X amount of this, do you have to do that, etc., etc. But this one, I actually really, really, really like how they did this. So it's level based to get a certain type or a certain category of these skins, and then within each category, they have the achievement based. So to get like the Blood Tiger, like we were saying, I think it's to unlock Tiger category, you have to be level, I think like 49 or whatever. And then to get the Blood Tiger, you have to do a certain amount of achievements, which is like 100 headshots or 50 headshots or whatever it is, which is really, really cool. That's kind of bringing their own aspect, their own new aspect, I should say, into it within their own old aspect and kind of making it a new aspect all in general.
Dude, now Siri's trying to talk to me. Oh my god. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. I'm hacked. I'm hacked.
I think you just need a new computer. Time to build that gaming PC.
Start building that PC, yeah.
Look who's talking.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I need to
God.
build mine too.
All right.
We'll
But
get
no,
there.
I definitely agree. You made a lot of there was a lot of good points that were brought up here, especially ones I didn't think about. Derp, you really went drawn out, and
I just went ham, yeah.
that was really good because there was a lot of stuff that I didn't talk about. I think that covers everything we wanted to talk about in this week's town hall. Did we miss anything, guys?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we did a really good part. As always in my town hall, this is where I send it over to Guzzy so he can talk about our social media.
All right. Hi. Twitter at Gaming Grounds and Facebook Gaming Grounds Network, YouTube Gaming Grounds Network. We're on all podcast platforms. Most of our listeners are on Apple Podcasts, so thank you. We have our individual Twitters as well, but you can find them on our main Twitter. We appreciate any comments, any likes, any shares, subscriptions, anything with this podcast. We really do appreciate it. The best way to leave comments, raise questions for a podcast topic, to give your opinion would be on YouTube or Twitter, and just directly do it that way. We're looking into doing a Facebook group as well, which would be kind of cool. Yeah, but that's it.
Just building a community, one person at a time. I like it.
Go.
Very cool. So yeah, be sure to follow us. Always, watch and share. We want more people to enjoy us just as much as you do, and just as much as we enjoy ourselves. So be sure to get it out there. And thanks to everybody that's been listening so far. We actually have people from literally all across the world now, which is fantastic. And I think that for everybody here at the Gaming Ground Podcast Network, thank you, and we will talk soon. This was another town hall.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.